Yo me apego a las cosas que bloco de
Yeah, we'll call. There's a wheel call.
Okay, good.
What team you guys have in it?
If you're broadcasting, let us know.
Yes, sir. Focus is on you, sir.
Oh no, that's not great. He's a man. Okay, good to see you. All right.
It's gonna be a myth.
Behind every beautiful event.
Few hitches.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. You can't take some pictures for us? Okay. Go ahead. All right, here.
I just said, we'll pop back on.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, you're yes.
Yeah, it takes a lot more than that. Trust me. I figured that was after I got a galaxy.
What other movie? 3 years.
Marcy.
Oh, yeah, we need to get one.
Why brought you to Chicago? In the winter time, I walk around in shorts in my house. I can't live past Tennessee. My dad when it's winter time, I come to work and I'm home. I don't do nothing extra. But when it's warm, that's when we come outside.
You're right.
You got to go again? All right. You go right here.
You know, he's married and have children and wife and
Oh, you mean that one? Okay.
your mama have a house now. So we go for 2 weeks and she's gonna take us to so music's just all in your head.
That's exactly right. You got a copy of this? You okay?
I'm good. Here it is.
Issues, you know. What time you Exactly.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. Now that everybody is seated, we'll begin. Welcome to all the distinguished guests in our audience today. Special welcome to those in the audience who traveled from out of the states and other countries to join us. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come to the Ritz-Carlton to celebrate with us today. Our MC Rachel Stockman joined Channel 2 Action News in July 2012. Rachel earned a bachelor's degree from the Medill School of Journalism at Northwestern University, and she holds a master's degree in law from Yale Law School. Rachel Stockman also reported for WCBS New York and KPNX in Phoenix. Before working in Phoenix, she spent time reporting, producing, and anchoring at WGBA in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Her first broadcast job was as an intern at 60 Minutes. She's very thankful to the correspondents at 60 Minutes for supporting her career in journalism. Congratulations, Ms. Rachel Stockman, who is a recent recipient of the Atlanta Press Club Rising Star Award. Members of the distinguished audience, please rise as we give Rachel a warm welcome. Please rise. Thank you.
That was such a wonderful welcome. Thank you so much. But I think all of the credit goes to Dr. Elaine Bright for today. So can we just have a big round of applause for all the effort she's put in to make this day wonderful. Yes, please stand. And her husband, of course. I think that it's very special that this event was sold out and the commitment that you all have for continuing to inspire our youth. I think you all know the Elaine Bryant Foundation is about giving youth in our communities a way to find mentors and really to empower them to become leaders of tomorrow. So it's really amazing that so many people have come out today to support that. I think just in terms of a little housekeeping, we have a wonderful event planned. I want to start by introducing Sean Grant. Is he here? There he is. All right, I'll just. Mr. Grant, you want to come up and say a few words?
Is trapped inside. The ability to see the table in the tree. The instinctual vision to see beyond the physical and make sure the real is to be. Yes, is trapped inside of you and me. See, Dr. Miles Monroe left us a legacy. He stressed that God gave us a destiny and a dream to create a future for ourselves, because wealth follows solutions. We were never meant to follow wealth, it seems. We have settled within ourselves that we have no value other than our skills and our desire to excel. But the missing ingredient is our God-given gifts that travel with us throughout our lives, no matter who has the ability to tell. Something so strong that even if they fired you from your job, they can never fire you from this. This is a deep-seated, weed-treated leaf, a stem cell seeped into your bloodstream at birth, just waiting to give birth to your purpose. All it needs is your belief. You were made for greatness, but greatness needs help. Greatness needs to tell greatness that greatness prevails. And greatness needs education so that greatness can swell. So whatever your greatness was made to create, it can be great as well. It's trapped inside, fighting for air, that's stirring inside to remind you that you will never truly breathe into your purpose for being on this earth is reached if you dare. It's trapped inside your ability to see the table in the tree, the instinctual vision to see beyond the physical and possess the skills and the willingness to cause that vision to be. Yes, it's trapped inside of you and me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grant, for those inspiring words. You can do the introduction. Oh, yes, we forgot. That's right. We deviated from the program here. We're going to say the national anthem, please. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite Dr. Noel Erskine up to do the invocation, please.
May we pray. Oh God, we pause to say thank you for your gifts and graces lavished upon us, for gifts of mind and memory, friendship and fellowship, gifts of family and friends. We say thank you. But today we thank you especially for young people. This, oh God, is a difficult world for young people. From Ferguson to Baltimore, many places in Jamaica. Thank you for Dr. Elaine Bryan and for the foundation she represents and for the vision and the passion for youth you have given to her. Teach us to dream a different world, a better world, a world in which there will be love, a world, oh God, in which there will be compassion. Multiply Elaine Bryans, that leadership rise all over this place as we reach out to those who need so desperately the things we take for granted. And God, I want to say thank you for the meal prepared for us. Grant that this meal may serve as a symbol of our commitment to the things this foundation represents, to the dream Dr. Brand represents. And we will be careful, oh God, to give you the praise. In Jesus' name we pray, and everybody says, Amen.
Next, I want to introduce a man that has a very special connection to the foundation. Not only is he the husband, he is also an IT professional currently working as a senior programmer for one of the top software solution providers, Amdocs. Prior to joining Amdocs in 2001, Gregory worked as a programmer for Bell South Advertising and Publishing. And he has a particular passion for music and keyboards and arranging music. I want to welcome to the stand Gregory Bryan, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us today at this event. I just want to say a few words of introduction about our guest artist, Mr. Huntley Brown. Huntley grew up in a Christian home on the island of Jamaica. His parents, Myrtle and Alpheus Brown, taught him what it means to be a Christian, and at an early age, he accepted Christ. Without knowing how to read music, he learned to play the piano by imitating his brothers. His father, who played the accordion and a little piano, gave Huntley some basic instructions and also received instructions from Mr. Paul Tucker, a family friend. Mostly though, he learned by listening to different recordings. After graduating from Iona High School, Huntley started to play keyboards in various hotel bands and piano bars in Jamaica. It was great money for a teenager, and he tried to justify being a Christian while playing in clubs, but he couldn't. The atmosphere of the clubs and his Christian ideas didn't match up. He kept remembering his mother's words, "Huntley, only what is done for Christ will last." Soon he prayed and rededicated his life to Christ and started to spend time daily in the Word and in prayer. This decision led him to the United States, where he enrolled in Judson University in Elgin, Illinois. 4 years later, Huntley graduated with a bachelor's degree in piano performance. He then went on to Northern Illinois University, where he earned a master's degree in piano and performance and pedagogy. While at NIU, Huntley met the lovely Annette Chestnut, a fellow Caribbean student from Barbados. And following graduation, he and Annette were married. They now reside in Aurora, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, along with their 4 daughters, Natalie, Natasha, Nicole, and Nadia. Huntley's music has taken him all over the world with TV, radio, and concert performances in Austria, Bahamas, Barbados, Canada, China, England, and the list goes on. I think he told me yesterday that he's a million-mile member of the United Airlines. So he's done a lot of traveling. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Atlanta welcome to our guest artist, Mr. Huntley Brown.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for that incredible performance. I think it struck an emotional chord for a few of us in the audience. And don't worry, there will be an encore performance if you haven't gotten enough. Before we head to lunch, I just wanted to introduce one last speaker, Arlene Barr. She's the Director of International Business at the world's busiest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. If you want to just say a few remarks before lunch, that would be terrific. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Honorable Consul General, good afternoon. Other distinguished guests, on behalf of Mayor Kasim Reed and Aviation General Manager Miguel Southwell, it is my distinct pleasure to bring greetings. And it is an honor for Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport to extend its support to this very important program. One of the guiding principles we follow at Hartsfield-Jackson is working to fulfill the true purpose of an airport. That is to serve as our community's chief economic development tool for the creation of jobs and the growth of wealth for its residents. This is why it's fitting that Hartsfield-Jackson participate in this program designed to inspire and teach our community how to better manage its finances. Growing wealth will only go so far if we don't know how best to handle and make best use of those earnings. Thank you, Dr. Bryan and your foundation and the rest of the team for putting this important program together, and I wish you all the very best. Please enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.
Now it's the very critical moment of lunch. And I just want to say, if it's all right, if we start with the first rows to go to the buffet, then the middle and the back, just to keep it orderly. Thank you very much.
Don't be one.
We will talk before you go.
We were talking about it just now on the table when you left.
Really? Oh, no.
So I said, I think there's a next piano player, we just want to come forward and play with it.
I tried hard, I think.
I lost my spot there in the
I wouldn't bring
Irish way, I like that. And we've got there Keith and I on there a number of times. Whatever. And that's one place.
Whatever it is, it's good.
I've been there a couple of
Try that.
I still don't know what she
So, and I can't blame you. In fact, I told her that this is worthy of
Celebrating
in Athens. Oh yeah, we're not moving. Okay, the man cave. I tell you, I know Valentino, Thank God he was so she kept saying, you know, that's my point. Please, can I get 20% back to you? Oh no. So you do the sugar beets, huh? I love sugar
You just prioritize. Yeah. Oh, right. Right, yeah. Right. Right. Let me set this right here. Yeah, I'm just grabbing it. Okay. Okay, good. Pass. Yeah, you're welcome.
Actually, I'm waiting for the gentleman to bring me some. We're actually going to eat out here.
Yes. You already have your food there.
I did.
Okay, I made my
I hope you all are enjoying your meals. You please continue eating as we continue our program. I want to take a moment to introduce our next speaker. Kathy Reed joined Keep North Fulton Beautiful as the executive director in March of 2008. She's an Atlanta native, a graduate of Emory University, and has a very extensive background in small business and nonprofit. Under her leadership, Keep North Fulton Beautiful has been awarded Keep America's Beautiful President's Circle Award every year. So can you please welcome Kathy Reed to say a few words.
Thank you so much. I'm actually going to put this up here. Okay, can everybody hear me okay with that? Excellent. All right, so what do you want to be when you grow up? So this is a question that everybody asks little kids, you know, like from the time you're really little, like from the time you're able to talk, really, you get this question. And I remember when I was a really little kid, and my mother always told me, you can be anything you want to. When you grow up, you can be anything you want to be. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. So I thought about it for a little while. And I was outside one day and I decided I wanted to be a bird. Yeah, I thought that was great because, you know, you could stay outside all day in the woods and you could fly. I mean, how great is that, right? And I didn't really think about the fact that, of course, you have to eat worms. But anyways, I told my mom, who, by the way, is here. Say hello, Mom. Okay, anyway, so I told her I wanted to be a bird. And so then she said, well, Kathy, you can't really be a bird. You actually have to be a human of some form. And so I was, of course, crushingly disappointed about that. And it started an entire lifetime of me questioning things that people told me. And yes, I think I was a difficult child. She actually says I was an interesting child. But anyway, I still think it's a legitimate question, even for us as adults. So not exactly like, what do you want to do when you grow up, or what do you want to be when you grow up, but what is it you want to do with the rest of your life? And I have some questions for everyone in the room tonight, this afternoon. What kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of future do we want? And what do we need to do to have that future? Well, we're living in an age of amazing technological advancement, but we're also faced with some of the most complex problems that the world has ever faced. So take a look at this slide. This is a chart that shows the increase in population growth throughout history. So around hunter-gatherer times, there were about 3 million people on this planet. And the population increased to about 15 million about the time that agriculture was introduced, around 10,000 BCE. By the 4th century, current era, there were 50 to 60 million people. And then after the industrial and agricultural revolutions in Europe, the population began to increase because of the introduction of vaccines, improved sanitation, and improvements in medicine. The world population hit 1 billion people for the first time in 1804. Now keep in mind, we're looking at like 5 million years of human history right here, human population growth, right? It took 123 years to double that number to get to 2 billion in 1927. It took 23 years to hit 3 billion in 1960. We reached 7 billion people in October of 2011. Estimates are that the global population will reach 8 billion by 2026 and 9 billion by 2042. So this increased population places unprecedented demands on our planet's resources. Unprecedented challenges for meeting the needs of all of those souls. There's really no simple solution for this. We'd be naive to think so. We need to take a multi-dimensional approach with collaboration from world leaders, scientists, engineers, economists, agricultural experts, industry, governments, and the private sector to address these challenges. So what exactly are some of these challenges? Well, first of all, the human impact on our Earth's resources and processes has been exponential, along with that population growth. The scientists are concerned about loss of biodiversity, acidification of our oceans, land system disruptions in the nitrogen cycle and phosphorus levels in our soils, the availability of clean water, climate change, among other concerns. Pushing our planetary boundaries as we have them is not sustainable. In fact, it threatens our very survival. So what does sustainability really mean? Well, the current working definition is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So our challenge with sustainable development consists of balancing local and global efforts to meet basic human needs without destroying or degrading the natural environment. Energy is central to every major challenge and opportunity the world faces. Whether it's for jobs, security, climate change, food production, or increasing incomes, access to energy for all is essential. 1 in 5 people in the world still lacks access to modern electricity. So one of the big questions of our time is, how do we have sustainable energy for all? Investments in infrastructure, transport, irrigation, energy, and information and communication technology are crucial to achieving sustainable development and empowering communities in many countries. Inadequate infrastructure leads to a lack of access to markets, jobs, information, and training, and it creates a major barrier to doing business and limits access to healthcare and education. Globally, some 700 million people do not have enough food to lead an active life, and 1 in 8 people in the world today, that's 868 million people, are currently malnourished. And at the same time, Each year, an estimated 1/3 of all the food produced, that's 1.3 billion tons, worth about $1 trillion, ends up rotting in the bins of consumers and retailers, or spoiling due to poor transportation and harvesting practices. So it's time for us to rethink how we grow, share, and consume our food. Clean, accessible water for all is an essential part of the world we want to live in. There is sufficient fresh water on the planet to achieve this, but due to bad economics or poor infrastructure, every year millions of people, most of them children, die from diseases associated with inadequate water, sanitation, and hygiene. 2.5 billion people in the world currently lack access to basic sanitation services, such as toilets and latrines. And of course, water is integral to crop production and access to hydroelectric power. Half of humanity, that's 3.5 billion people, currently live in cities today. By 2030, about 60% of the population will live in urban areas. So there are many challenges to maintaining a city and cities in ways that continue to create jobs and prosperity, but without straining land and resources. Ensuring healthy lives and promoting the well-being for all, at all ages, is essential to sustainable development. Efforts are needed to fully eradicate a wide range of diseases and address many different persistent and emerging health issues. Freedom, peace and security, and respect for human rights is fundamental to sustainable development. We need inclusive representation in political and economic decision-making processes. Can anybody tell me what that woman is doing? Say that again out loud. Yeah. Roughly half of the world's population still lives on the equivalent of about $2 a day. And having a job doesn't guarantee the ability to escape from poverty. Sustainable economic growth will require societies to create the conditions that allow people to have quality jobs, that stimulate the economy while not harming the environment. All of these areas need science, technology, engineering, and math-based knowledge and skills in order to solve. We need to encourage young people to develop skills in these areas so we can adequately address these complex issues. It might seem overwhelming to think about trying to address these challenges, but the good news is that we actually have a roadmap. The United Nations has identified 17 key areas of focus. They're called the Sustainable Development Goals. They're clear goals with action items and a timeline for achieving those goals. This plan is laid out, so it's actually possible to solve these problems within our lifetimes, or at least the lifetimes of the young people in this room. If you're interested in learning what those 17 development goals are, they can be found at un.org/sustainable development. I believe the way to a meaningful life is to be focused on something that's bigger than yourself. This is one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite authors. To know that even one life is breathed easier because you have lived. That is to have succeeded. So find one of these 17 areas. These 17 areas include everything from climate change to equal rights for women to energy to infrastructure. Find something that will touch, move, and inspire you. Focus on that goal. Become an expert on that topic. Honestly, it really doesn't take much. All you have to do is read a whole lot about it. And then work to protect the things that are worth living for. The co-founder of Earth Day, Gaylord Nelson, says, the ultimate test of a man's conscience may be his willingness to sacrifice something today for future generations whose words of thanks will not be heard. So if you have STEM-based knowledge, know that there will always be a need for you. There's always a place for you. Because the fact is, there are people who depend on you. Someone is counting on you. There's a child in the Sudan who needs you to help figure out how to grow sustainable crops so she'll have enough to eat. There's a mother in Haiti who needs you to help her have enough clean water to give her children. There are entire species of animals and plants that will disappear forever off of this planet if you don't figure out how to protect them. The Lakota Sioux Nation needs you to find a way to reduce child mortality. Girls and women in developing countries need access to the same levels of education and opportunities that boys do, and someone needs to find a way to make that happen. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So let me go back to my original questions. What kind of world do we want to live in? What kind of a future do we want? And what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
Thank you so much, Kathy. I want to take a moment now to welcome Janae Wilburn for the overview of financial freedom through STEAM and scholarships and awards presentation.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your patience. We're going to now go into the other portion where the students will get an award. 4 students will get awards from the Microsoft executives. They have been my partner, very supportive. I have partners with the personnel as well as help with getting supplies as well as getting their facilities to use. So it's a real partnership, and I'm very happy that we were lucky to achieve that. Before I ask Ms. Williams to join me at the podium, I just wanted to share quickly with you what the summer program is about. We have, with Microsoft, we do training with students in colleges and high school. Basically, what it is, we get the information to all the high schools throughout Georgia and also all the colleges. And we have programs in the summer. The last program we had was in March at the corporate office in Alpharetta, where Microsoft arranged to give students tours, and they follow them through college. They help them in many ways, trying to figure out if they have any strengths in the technology area. And what I do is to try and find the students so that they can have the right sort of person who fit the STEAM program, which means science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Now, the students who are here today, we have been following them from last year when they joined our program, and now it has gone to the time where we observe them throughout the year to see if they are just, joking around or if they are serious about having a career. And so we were able to identify the students who we would like to give an award today, as well as follow them through college to see if we can help to place them in internships and all that. So it's a real support that we want to give Microsoft a big round of applause. At this time, Ms. Williams will come to the podium, and I'll get the students, put the 4 students, and you can follow the book, because in the book we have the students' names. Thank you. If you look in that book that each of you have, the foundation book, you see, and could the students please come to the podium?
Good afternoon. I'm Lavinia Williams. I'm a colleague with Janae Wilburn. She's our community development specialist. I'm here in her absence. I'm the business specialist over at Microsoft here in the Buckhead area. And we've met Dr. Bryant a few months ago, and when she walked into the location and told us what she was trying to do, we had no choice. She wants to empower, and it's written all over her preference. So we're more than happy to do what we can to assist her in any effort, everything she's trying to do, because we believe in it. Okay? So I'm going to begin by first calling, excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong, Anna. I'm presenting you with the Community Service Scholarship Award. Next, we have the Leadership Award goes to Namida Namdi, I apologize. Namdi Mama. Leadership and Community Service Award goes to Sanjay John. And our Artistic Design Technology Award goes to Nina Quinn. We all get these great, empowering young individuals.
How awesome are those students? Another round of applause for them to be recognized their commitment on the Sunday coming here and all their commitment they've provided. Our next speaker, he has begged me not to give him too long of an introduction, so I won't do that. But we have a very special guest, and I know Dr. Bryant was very excited when we were able to secure him for this event. The Honorable Dr. Anil Ramanandan accepted the position of Consul General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in Miami, Florida in February 2011. Since then, he has a strong presence and has actively increased trade between the United States of America and Trinidad. Can we please welcome him to say a few words? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Mistress of Ceremonies, Miss Rachel Stockman. Yes. Actually, I have no trouble with your name. I was just doing that in retaliation. Your name is very easy to pronounce. But she has been really, you know, the speakers come up from time to time and say their piece. But the chairperson of the program has to manage and this entire program. So let's give her a round of applause today. A really wonderful job today on behalf of Dr. Brian and of course her own station. Dr. Elaine Bryan, President of the Grant Bryan Center, and her husband, Gregory Bryan, Vice Chair. And I had to question him privately about how he was able to accept, how peacefully accepted that position of Vice Chair. I understand there was no acrimony in the decision-making process whatsoever. Board members of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, of which I know there are many of you here, a few of you here today, a few members. Arlene Richards-Bach, who spoke earlier, bringing greetings to the foundation on behalf of the city, and His Worship the Mayor, Kazim Green. And I don't know if our colleague from his office is here. She's at all. Yes, but we have someone from his office here, Claire Angel, Director International Affairs for the Mayor, for the Mayor Reed. Members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I understand that we are streaming live on YouTube, so people in my position have to be very careful what we say because you know how quickly these things reach back. And it reaches back even faster to where you don't want it to reach back. I think I have been put inadvertently and probably unconsciously by Dr. Brian in a very, very unfortunate position to some extent. I certainly don't think that it was done purposely. I wouldn't impugn such motives against our most gracious host, who has done well. But she has asked me to speak on the economic development in Trinidad and Tobago in a crowd on which I don't know if I'll make it outside if I continue to speak on Trinidad and Tobago too much. Because I see, thanks to my good friend Alan Simpson here, the former head of the Trinidad and Tobago Association, and thanks to, I recognize the Atlanta Jamaica Association for your presence. I know a couple of you on that table. But I would have changed it up a little bit to make it a little more, it is an opportunity for me to speak on Trinidad and Tobago and probably some of the educational principles that we uphold, and to share that knowledge with you from the Caribbean or from a Caribbean background as well as from a more developed country status here. You here in Atlanta are very fortunate to have one of the more developed economies within the United States as well. And the second reason that I think that Dr. Brian has put me in a compromising position is because she puts me to speak in between what could very well be the greatest international performing artist that I have heard, Mr. Andy Brown. So I am here standing in between. Unfortunately, you have just been fed, but I'm here, and you have been fed for your stomachs, but I know you are waiting to be musically fed from Mr. Brown after, and he has done such a remarkable job, and the comments from those that while walking around have been hearing nothing remarkable. So congratulations, you are really an inspiration to many persons here, and I hope the young students who this occasion is really about. So with that being said, let me thank you very much for the hour and 15 minutes that Dr. Brian has so graciously granted me to speak on Trinidad. I know I would have caught your attention on that one. Surely I wouldn't make it outside. But probably let's get started. I view it today as my solemn duty to be here. Not only because of Dr. Brian's most gracious invitation, but because this opportunity presents the occasion to draw important parallels that I spoke about earlier between the work of the Grant Brian Center and policy objectives of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, particularly with regard to the area of education. I have limited, I know they gave me a topic, but I try to make it as much relevant, and I know I didn't have a profile of the audience here, but I assume a lot would have been from business and educational backgrounds and so on. So it is indeed for me a humbling experience to be among such distinguished advocates of societal advancement through education. I often describe myself as a perpetual student since 1990, and prior to that, of course, primary, what we call primary and secondary education. I've been associated with the University of the West Indies and later on the University of Trinidad and Tobago at some level. So from my early childhood throughout my professional career, and I'm still currently enrolled in a program at McMaster University in Ontario, Canada, if that at all is familiar to some of us here. So firstly, let me congratulate Dr. Brian and our organization for their achievements, which are a manifestation of the philosophy that empowerment of young people and equipping them to be productive and happy constituents of the society, and is predicated on our ability to provide the appropriate learning environment for them. It is axiomatic that the economic development of a country is inextricably linked to its advancement in other areas of equivalent significance. I often say when I speak at functions that if you move the economy forward and you keep driving the economies forward and leaving the social ills behind, it makes no sense. They must run parallel to each other. The education system, the economic system, and the social problems that we face. And let me just divert a bit from my text to let you know that Trinidad and Tobago, when we attend meetings in various of the Latin American countries, primarily our Ministry of the People and Social Development, which is a new ministry created under our current Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. That ministry gets people in amazement at the amount and the level of social programs that are rolled out by Trinidad and Tobago. It is really amazing. For almost any area you can think of, if they are from natural disasters, as they're here in the US as well, to the health sector, and then I'll get into education in a short while. So the government of Trinidad and Tobago has recognized this, and that not only to survive, but to flourish as a small island developing state among the global family of nations. In the cutthroat competitive environment of today, our country has to adopt a multi-dimensional approach to development, of which education is paramount, if not the major propellant of the same development that we refer to. Trinidad and Tobago, as most of us would know, has been blessed with some carbon-based energy resources. We are still, though there's a large diversification thrust for many years now, we are still a hydrocarbon-based energy economy, which have enabled the establishment of a very vibrant industrial sector. From those of you here who are from the Caribbean background and so on, a lot of the Caribbean islands, when you go to, they're mainly laid back, 80 or 90% of their GDP, in some cases, depend on the tourism industry. Trinidad and Tobago is quite different. I was telling someone on my table there that in probably 5 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, 78% of the liquefied natural gas that was imported to the United States of America came from Trinidad and Tobago. And some of it came right here through in Georgia, through in Savannah, of those who know where Elba Island is. There's a liquefied nitrogen port, nitrogen gas port right there, and then higher up in Boston. So when you were facing very cold winters on the eastern seaboard, it was Trinidad and Tobago that was keeping you warm and lighting up the eastern seaboard. So we have been blessed with that, and now we have moved our markets tremendously. We still supply probably in the vicinity of 18 to 23% of the energy that is required by this country. But this country has also discovered and has gone on its own energy drive, as well as also looking at other sources. And we too have diversified our market by looking at some of the BRIC countries to export to: Brazil and Russia, India and China and so on. So we send gas. We have over 100 years of institutional memory in the energy sector. So when persons are setting up plants in Nigeria and all those countries throughout the world, it has been set up by Trinbagonians who have the institutional knowledge. We have a university that trains people for that skill. So, as recent events illustrate, however, energy-based economies are not immune from uncertainties in the international economies. You will be aware of the sharp drop in oil prices recently. I think we are still below $60 a barrel currently, from upwards of 100 just a few months ago. So that type of uncertainty within the international economy provides really a threat to some extent to our economy, once we are not sufficiently diversified of other revenue streams. So the government has implemented a strategy which entails development or developing human capital for economic prosperity through education. Stability to engender commercial activities sought through social development programs, I spoke about that, legislative initiatives, and effective policing. A conducive environment has been created to nurture investment and business development with the requisite administrative provisions, including ease of establishing measures, a concessionary tax regime, and efficient customs procedures. However, none of these initiatives independently will produce the desired result. We must have the skilled human capital on which to found all development. So I will keep coming back to that human development, because today is about human development. Today is about building human capital in young people. So allow me to quote from our Honorable Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, for whom education has consistently been a top priority. She was a former Minister of Education in a former administration. And I quote, "In order for Trinidad and Tobago to not only survive, but to thrive in present economic circumstances, our labor force must be competent in a wide range of academic and vocational skills relevant to the needs of the labor market. We can consider ourselves fortunate in Trinidad and Tobago to be among a few countries to offer education, a critical resource for development, to our citizens. Freely. I repeat, freely. And I will explain this. The policy of the government with respect to education has been closely aligned to its commitment to achieving the United Nations, the UN Millennium Development Goals. One of the 8 broad goals addresses development and poverty eradication, under which a sub-objective of all children must be able to complete a full course of primary education by 2015 is listed. Those are goals that are not set by us, but are set by member countries of the United Nations. The Millennium Development Goals and their targets were incorporated and aligned with Trinidad and Tobago's medium-term national priority. Projections were set for universal early childhood education and a 60% participation rate at the tertiary level by this year, by 2015. The Prime Minister recently was able to report that our country, Trinidad and Tobago, was on course to full early childhood education and a tertiary participation rate of more than 65% by the end of 2015, almost unprecedented internationally. Our government's framework for education towards sustainable development encompasses all levels, from nursery to tertiary. The GATE, or the Government-Assisted Tertiary Education Program, provides funding to all students in Trinidad and Tobago, as 100% of tuition fees are paid for by the government at the bachelor's level. And at the postgraduate level, the cost to the student is subsidized by 50%. So all you have to do as a student is get in. The rest is taken care of you. And there are also arrangements to access loans, which are almost interest-free loans, very low rates, for students who have other living expenses, because the way the country is geographically situated, people coming from far distances and so on may need to have rent and whatever else they cost. So those mechanisms are also in place. Another significant innovation has been the development of the University of Trinidad and Tobago. UTT was designed to complement the output of the long-established University of the West Indies. And I'd like to add my good friend here, who I've just met, Mr. Brian, is a former graduate of the University of the West Indies Engineering Faculty. So you see that university has been producing top graduates throughout the world. And look, we have some others in the house. I myself graduated from UWI. And on the issue of Mr. Brian, I also want to announce to you today, in case you did not know, he's also a Trinidadian. And I'm very serious with that. Those who want to ask him after how, but he's a Trinidadian as well. Because we are one of the countries, and I'll tell them why, because it's important to know. Every country has its own immigration policies and so on, but in our country, once your parents, the first generation there, once your parents were born in Trinidad, then the children can acquire citizenship through the parents' application. In some countries, it's even the grandchild generation or the grandfather generation as well. So UTT has been complementing persons, not in the traditional fields, but developing a skills pool for Trinidad and Tobago in the non-traditional sectors, so that you find that the energy sector, there's a lot of training, there's areas for musicians, dance, academy, sports. Cricket is a big thing for the West Indies. There's a cricket academy. So non-traditional areas that generally the University of the West Indies may not have put traditional emphasis on. UTT is now picking up the slack there and training persons throughout the Caribbean in their various skills areas and so on, as the country so requires. The infusion of new ideas from the reservoir of knowledge, which is being developed at light speed, is crucial for a small country's advancement. This is why the Consulate General of the Republic, and I know we had a slide with me up there. I wanted to deal with that slide because I have educators in it. So just remind me before I finish to address that slide. There's a slide where I got a picture of me. But only because it had educators in here, I'll address something on that slide. This is why the Consulate General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is enthusiastically pursuing the program of student exchanges between the sister cities. For those who don't know, Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago has an official sister city arrangement with the city of Atlanta here in Georgia. And we have been for many years now, we have been doing a lot of training of our security officials, law enforcement and so on, through the help of the city of Atlanta. And could you please extend our thanks to the Honorable Mayor for those gracious gifts to Trinidad and Tobago. This exercise is also important in fostering increased understanding between members of the Trinidad and Tobago diaspora, domiciled in the US, and other groups which constitute this diverse society. As some among us are accomplished educators, they may agree that extending beyond the threshold point of saturation results in diminishing marginal returns for students. This is not my intention, as I wish mainly to encourage you and the various organizations you represent to pursue any form of collaboration possible with educational entities in Trinidad and Tobago. It is my sincere belief that this will redound to the mutual benefit of the persons and institutions you represent and the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I want to tell you that the work that you do, and I hope I don't put it in such a bad way, the work that you do is not voluntary work. It is your responsibility as a society, and you must view it as your responsibility. It is not additional duties. So I end up and conclude by just quoting from Robert Maynard, American educational philosopher, who said that education is not to reform students or to make them expert technicians. It is to unsettle their minds, widen their horizons, inflame their intellects, teach them to think straight, if possible. So I urge with those words, I urge the Elaine Bryant Foundation and many other, I know you belong to many other foundations of a similar nature, to keep up the good work and keep those young children dreaming. I thank you very much.
And I'm sure you've all been waiting for this, the encore performance. Can I welcome back onto the stage Mr. Huntley Brecht.
Thank you so good. You guys are simply the best. For the Jamaicans, Wagwan. Everybody all right? You know, first I must say the mistress of ceremonies, Dr. Anil Ramanan. I had to practice a couple times, man. And to Elaine and Greg and the entire team, you guys simply been the best. You can invite me back here anytime. I know we don't have much time left, but here's what I like to do. Elaine and Greg believes that no child should be left behind. And there's a hymn we used to sing in the church called Pass Me Not to a Gentle Savior. Hear my humble cry. While others are calling, you guys been in church. All right. You know, can I swing it just a little bit? Is that all right? All right, so I'm going to swing past me, and then I'm going to end with my all-time favorite song, praise and worship. How do you end an afternoon like this? I believe we end it by giving God thanks and praise. As this song simply says, well, I tell you what, when you think of God, talk to me. What words come to your mind? Anyone? Yes, keep going. Holy, keep going. Awesome, yes. You guys preaching good. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to put all those words together in the song of praise and worship. This is my favorite song, by the way. The song says, Lord, you are holy. Holy is your name. Over and over the songwriter says, I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. Then at the 3-minute mark, can you wait for 3 minutes? Say, yeah, man. All right, yeah, man, all right. At the 3-minute mark, that's when it gets really good. That's when the songwriter says, you are wonderful, glorious, holy, and righteous, victorious, conqueror, triumphant, and mighty, healer, deliverer, shield and defense, strong tower, and my best friend, omnipotent, omnipresent, soon coming King, Alpha, Omega, Lord of everything. Holy, holy is his name. Now, what I'm going to do first, pass me not, and in the middle, there'll be a special surprise, all right? The Lord is holy. God bless you. Like this. 6 Savior. Here we go. Savior, Savior, yes, Savior, do that thing here. My humble cry, yes, yes, oh while and others now I'm zipping that you say, yes, do not pass me by, yes. See, Savior. Thank you. Thank you so much. Even so, Lord, you are holy. Holy is here today. Let's worship together.
Wow. Wow, that was awesome. Another round of applause for Mr. Brown. Thank you. I've had the opportunity to go to a lot of luncheons like this and host them, and I have to say, I've never felt so uplifted by everyone here, by the speeches, by the people, by the music. It's been amazing. So it's been such an honor to be able to host this as we wrap up what's our program today. We do have a raffle prize, right, Dr. Brown? Okay.
Just a little side note, don't go anywhere. Everybody, today is Rachel's birthday. We're so honored that you took your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rachel. Happy birthday to you. And as a small token of our appreciation, we would like to present you with a trick for two to Breezes Bahamas, courtesy of Breezes. So enjoy. Thank you so much. And this is for you. We will put it on the table for you. Thanks so much, Rachel. Appreciate it.
Rachel has to run to channel 2, so we're going to end with the raffle. And we have, we'll do the raffle first, and then I will have closing remarks. But the first raffle prize, will anybody else need a raffle ticket? Because this is your last chance. It's a big award. Anybody want a raffle ticket? 2 seconds. 2 seconds, $10. Anybody else want a raffle ticket? It's a trip to Couple Sans Souci in Jamaica. 3 days. All you can eat, drink. It's a good gift. First prize, all you can eat, Couple Sans Souci in Jamaica, West Indies. Next time we get a trip from Dr. Nell to Trinidad. But for now we're doing Jamaica. Last chance, because we gotta wrap it up. Stick to our timing. To save some time, could I have all the board members come to the stage? All the board members, advisory board, and the board members, please come to the stage because I want to acknowledge you. The parents from the Grant Center who are here, please come to the stage. Without you, this could not happen. Parents from the Grant Center, Dr. John, Sanjay, Queens, all of you come to the stage. All the board members, please come up. Dr. Pottinger, could you draw the first prize winner for me in a second? While we're waiting, I'm going to ask my family members to stand. I have a brother, Norman Grant, who is here. He actually is the person who introduced me to Huntley when we all lived in Chicago going to college. That's Norman Grant. Huntley is his friend for many years. And so I had a little connection in getting Huntley to leave his world tour to come to Atlanta. So it really helps when you know somebody who is really good and is loyal. That's very important. And my sister, Marjorie Grant CPA. That's if I need a loan, I stick close to my sister. She came all the way from California with her team, with friends, and her husband, George Fuller. Please rise. That's my sister's husband. They came from California for the event. So I'm her baby sister, so you know she took the trip for me, and I'm grateful she didn't have to come. My brother Carl is on the board, he's back here. Tells me what to do. I have all these men telling me what to do, and I'm just, up here with the mic, but I gotta listen to them. I have Dr. Lane who I wanted to acknowledge because as a mentor of many, could you write Dr. Lane? He's the honor, give Dr. Lane a big round of applause. He is the honorary consul to Barbados, and the reason I want to mention him, He and, is Bernie here? Oh, Bernadine Lane, they have been like real mentors and friends for many years, and you know, I depend on them for a lot of stuff, and you know, I just want to acknowledge them. There are other accountants in the audience. Could you please rise, everybody? Joel Scott is here. Honor Accountant Joel Scott. She's Jamaica, Honor Accountant. Nigeria. Yeah. Thank you. Is Bahamas here? Bahamas? Did not make it. Okay, no, okay. That's so. Could you all rise? And if you want to say a remarks, you know, feel free to come up and say something. But for now, we're going to do the raffle. Are you ready, Dr. Martin? Oh, yeah. Okay, I just want the board members to come, you know, as I introduce you. This is Rosemary Glean. Let them know who you are. This is Patterson, Gabrielle Patterson. Mr. Quinn here, Mr. Phillips, and Dr. Phillips. And Dr. Pam Charles, Dr. Pamela Charles, and Bernadine Lane, Dr. Tassie, Miss Rushing, my former boss, and my brother, Dr. Carl Grant, he handles the money, and Dr. Pottinger, she's the CEO and everything else. So we just want to thank, these are the wind beneath my wing. You know, I can't do this alone. So can you please thank you so much. Thank you so much. So will we have the raffle? No. Dr. P. Oh, you want to get it? Dr. P, can you come so get the winner on stage? Drum roll.
Shake it up good enough, Gregory, no matter what enough anti-panty. You know, around and turn around and shit. All right, I'm not looking, so my eyes are closed. 1, 2, 3.5, 4. All right, we have a winner.
The winner is ticket ending in 970, 5970. Congratulations, Dr. Sula. You have won a trip to a couple of San Sousa Resort, 3-day stay in Jamaica.
Some nosy people asking who she gonna take with her. What is not your business?
Thank you so much. We have a second prize, Mr. Jamaica Entrepreneurship. We raffle for the second prize.
Oh, 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3 3/4. All right, Bertie, don't work any little thing in there. No. We have a winner.
Ticket number 5965. 5965. Congrats. You have won a copy of Jamaican Entrepreneurship, a book by Dr. Glenn Lamont, and Dr. Glenn Lamont is here. I don't think he's signed it yet. You can get his autograph. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. We had fun today. I have so many people to thank that it would take so long. You'll be here till 6 o'clock. So I'm going to try to make it very concise. Thank you for all of you who came today. It made it possible. My dream, one of my dreams was to have something like this where people from different parts of the world would gather together and collaborate. And I'm glad that it happened. I'm grateful to you. It could not have happened without all of you sitting in the audience today. There are a few people I want to say special thanks to, and one is Dr. Anil Ramnanan. Could you rise and give him a special applause, because I really enjoyed that speech. That was awesome. That was awesome. It was really good. It's hard to give a speech after lunch, you know, but that was really uplifting. That was very good. Thanks to Kathy from Leadership Sandy Springs. We were trained in the same class. Please rise, Kathy. Thank you her for coming. She was great. She was great. Rachel had to run to work, but as you know, we're very appreciative of Channel 2 giving us this kind of support, because I met Rachel through Javina Moore, who is part of my program. She comes and helps me with the program in the summertime. And so, you know, it's really good to have support from Channel 2. I cannot beat that, you know, it helps. And then, of course, I have Microsoft, who they're very, very supportive. And thank Ms. Williams. Everybody give her a big round of applause. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here. There are a few other key people I want to say thanks to, and one of them is Gregory Scott Vernon Bryan. Will you please stand up? Gregory Scott Vernon Bryan, without him, this could not have happened. Believe me, he got pulled into this dream, and he is a computer quiet programmer. And you know, this is a lot of noise. So thanks to Gregory. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to Huntley Brown. Thank you, Huntley. This was awesome. He wanted to leave early. I said, oh no, Huntley, we have piano in the house. You have more entertainment to do. So I'm very, very grateful to Huntley for coming. This was awesome. Of course, the Ritz-Carlton for their stellar first-class service. Thanks to them very much. I want to thank Sean Grant, who did an awesome spoken word job. And that's Dr. Carl and Sandra Grant's firstborn. I just want to thank him so much. He was awesome. Georgia Tech graduate. All my sponsors and partners. Hartsfield Jackson, Alvin, could you please rise? Bernie Lane, all of you who bought ads. Could you rise? You bought ads in the book. Anybody else in the room who bought ads? Okay, without you, we could not have had this program. It's just not possible without support. And so I want to thank you. I wanted a first-class venue, and you know I need sponsors. So thanks to all of you for this. I really appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to Jamaica National Building Society, because without knowing me personally, they actually sponsored it, and I thought that was awesome. And you know, sometimes if you know somebody, they'll help you. They don't know me personally, and I really appreciate it. I wrote for the Gleaner and met a lot of people long distance, and so I want to thank them for what they did for me. Also, all the council generals in the room, if you want to say remarks at the end, let me know. I just want to say two quick things. June is National Caribbean Heritage Month. Caribbean Heritage Month is the month of June. That is our month. And many of you here are from the Caribbean, so I just wanted to respect that point. If you need details about Caribbean Heritage Month, is Tony Lane here? Okay, you can always talk to Tony Elaine. Thank you for your hard work with that. Give him a round of applause. It's a lot of work to get us together. And I want to thank, is the photographer Carl Henry? Oh, without Carl Henry, the memories of this would fade real fast. So will you please stand for him? He's a photographer. He did a good job. He came here from early. I'm really, really grateful. Don Pottinger, the younger generation, could you come up here, Mr. Pottinger? Because you see, without this younger generation, I can't do this. So I want you to come up, Don. And when I was doing this, and I told all of my, friends and family, and I've known Don from years little, and so I told me, he said, oh, Dr. Brandon, since the technology thing, you have to do live streaming. We collaborated with the Ritz-Carlton, and Don got it together. I didn't have to think twice. I just want to thank these young people for, without them, we can't do it. We can't, I know we're good and we, experience and all that, but without the young generation, we just cannot make it happen completely. So I just want to thank them for being so willing, to help, and the way Dr. Pottinger raised them to be very helpful. So I just want to give them a special thanks for that.
And I want to thank you because 10 years ago when I was getting ready to go to school, to college, I wouldn't have gotten to Georgia Tech without Dr. Elaine Bryan. So your reach has helped me become who I am today, so I'm only giving back to what you put into me, so I appreciate it.
I want to also mention that I'm Jamaican, so I'm putting in a plug for AJA. They have their yearly banquet in August, and the AJA table, if you need any information, the board members, please rise. All the board members of AJA. That's the Atlanta Jamaican Association. You can go to them if you need. They've worked very hard for many years in this system, and so it's not easy, and they have done a fantastic job. In fact, AJ Stone, who does a lot of work with the AJ Atlanta Association, she actually came to the center to pick up 10 tickets. And we have to applaud each other because it's not easy to fill a room in a month. And we did it because of people who bought the tables. In fact, all the people who facilitate a table, will you please stand? You, Tony Elaine, all the people who run around to get tables, please, Bernie, Margie Grant, Emma Grant, CK, all you made this happen because when you did the tables, it made the room fill fast. Arlene Barr, Atlanta Airport, could you please rise? You also helped to facilitate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, this will close it. Thank you so much again for everyone who came and made this happen. And have a wonderful day, and thank you for coming. Dr. Pottinger, Dr. Pottinger, as you know, she has been very instrumental, and I want to thank her for everything.
I just want to mention that Huntley has CDs for sale. If you enjoy the music, support him and purchase some of his CDs. Thank you.
I have a couple to pick up too. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.